Up in the top right. Going 1-1 so far, showing some sloppy play. It is Millennium's ForGG.
And his opponent's running it back off the back of some solid Blink Stalker play in game number 2. It is My Insanity's Stardust. Two cheesy openings from Stardust to kind of, again, throw me under that proverbial bus at the beginning where I was like, this guy's super straight up all the time now, and then very cheesy. But that's, I gotta say, that is also very much so the meta right now. Proxy Oracle is taking over PvT, and it's funny because, you know, when we first went to HOTS, that was like the first thing MC did at that MLG. I remember that. And then every Protoss after that, it's like, wow, Oracles are incredible. And they are. But they kind of went away because all of the Terran builds started to kind of naturally take that into account. Things like 6 Marines in the mineral lines, even opening up Engineering Bay and throwing a solitary missile turret in one of the mineral lines. And all of a sudden, you're not getting the same results. It's shifted back to that because Protoss have kind of re-emphasized the micro of the Oracle and finding that, yes, if there is that missile turret or even Marines, you'll still find results. Yeah,
it's the Oracle is just such a powerful unit. It gives you so much scouting potential, harassment potential. It dictates so much of the Terran's play, so you're very right about that. Like, going Oracle is nice, and especially on some of these maps, we've seen even the rise of Phoenixes following the Oracle sometimes, depending on what map you're on, what strategy you want to use.
Yeah, and we do see here Artosis. This is not a weird scout. This is, in fact, going to be another proxy, and with these positions, I feel like it's going to be Blink again.
Yeah, I think that you're probably right, but he hasn't scouted anything. It could, in fact, be Oracle.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we'll see, but I do side with Blink here.
Yeah, if you look at the natural, it's kind of wide open. There is a choke area, of course, leading into that CC area. But blinking into the main is much more doable here, and then there's wide open space to kind of kite backwards against the slow-moving Marines. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Stardust and I saw how ForGG reacted in that game number 2, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm like, yeah, if you're going to pull SCVs pre-stem and just kind of without support, I'll go for it.
It seemed like he was playing against a player that just doesn't know how to play against a Blink all-in. So I'm actually, I like what you said there. He's saying that was such a weak defense, that was such a poor defense. I'll just do it again because,
do it again.
Like, it's actually, it's hard to deal with it worse. It was like the anti-way to deal with it that ForGG did. So
yeah, we see ForGG scouting out here at the Reaper. At first, my brow furrowed because I was like, well, you gotta know he can't spawn top left, and if you did think that it was possible, there's some serious issues. But he's just checking for proxies.
Yeah, that would have been a Stargate location. It would have been a fine one indeed.
It's very common. He's gonna pull into the main, and he's gonna see exactly what Artosis talked about in game number 2, which is, okay, you got both your gases. This means you are teching. And again, knowing his opponent, knowing the scene right now, he's probably assuming it's proxy something. But that brings us to that problem. Is it Oracle or is it Blink Stalkers?
Well, he may end up finding it. We'll see. His Reaper's starting to get within the vicinity of where it is, but in fact, I just kind of run around trying to gain health. I guess he wants to do a second pass of the main base.
He's going to pass into the main. Unfortunately, he will run across that Stalker, but it shouldn't be enough to actually kill the Reaper. Well, he's going to pull back into the main and then actually die. Yeah.
Oh. Without he should have tried to get it into the probes, because that's the only place a Reaper is actually invincible, is within the probe line itself. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean in Control.
My God. Plus.
It's great. It's better than killing probes. They lose so much mining time trying to kill it.
Yeah, it happens. So far, we're not seeing much in the way of a sign. Well, here's the big deal. ForGG is actually not really mining off that natural. That's the first indication that he knows something is amiss. He will, of course, still build SCVs, and he doesn't want to relocate it just yet. He's not in danger of, like, all of a sudden 30 Stalkers just picking it off. It'll be like 5, and you can float it away. Bunker going down the top of the ramp. This is indication that he knows what's up.
Yeah, it seems like he is quite aware of the timing of this and whatnot. He is getting the concussive shells, a very quick upgrade that you can get, and of course going to be hard for those Stalkers to kite against it, but Blink a good answer to it.
Something out on the map. There's an SCV, and this is actually a big deal because there's a couple different varieties of this all-in. And actually, as I say that, the Marines are coming down the ramp. They're going to challenge the Stalker. They want to push it off. He's actually going to get a Stalker pre-blink. Oh, with the concussive shell, he could have got a second one, but he's just going to back away. He kind of respects this.
Oh, wow.
Stardust just throwing the Stalker and the probe away.
Wow.
I do not understand that. And
that was really great for ForGG.
It really was. And it was was it great for ForGG or was it really poopy for Stardust?
It was absolutely both in Control. That's what this series has been so far, to be perfectly frank about it.
It kind of is. And now the Mothership Core shows itself, of course, at this point in time, and with the natural being scouted somewhat, ForGG knows that he's not facing an expansion. This march across the map, knowing there's Blink Stalkers out there, it's weirding me out.
As Blink finishes, even though you get to kill 2 Stalkers, if he does like 2 rounds, he can kill this army.
Yeah, and he doesn't have Stim. Like, if he had Stim right now, this whole movement makes sense. He's at the top of the ramp. He knows there's no natural there. So his journey is to the mineral line, I guess.
Well, I guess he just sees how many kills he can get. If he could get the Mothership Core, that's nice. The Marauders obviously can be worth quite a bit of damage here. He does kill another Stalker, but at the end of the day, like, that trade went better for Stardust. Stardust still has an army. He still has his Mothership Core. The Mothership Core is one of the big things that if you can snipe it, that's fantastic because it can't blink in so easily, but he didn't even get that.
And there are 2 bunkers at the top of that ramp. That's a bit redundant as well. I mean, I feel like I'm being overly critical, but even just with the 1 bunker, that's a hard crack. He has to know he's going to go elsewhere. ForGG, if anything, did earn himself time. Stim is closing up. He does have the Concussive Shell, of course, and a bunker at the top of that ramp as well. So he's going to be difficult to be aggressive against, I feel. And he actually even has a scout on the map. I don't know if Stardust has picked that up, but if that can go see that there's no natural and just kind of park there, ForGG can adjust accordingly. He can wait till medevacs. If not, that misinformation or lack of information, it can favor Stardust, because then he can expand behind them.
Well, the SCV checking everything out.
Yeah.
Some great scouting going down. A lot of Stalkers down here. I think he just has to build a Nexus. Like, I would never want to try to break this ramp. Like, you've already seen multiple Marauders. You did lose a lot of Stalkers. I feel like just kind of sitting here for a little bit is good, but against 2 bunkers, well, he blinks right up and 2 shots the bunker. You're going to go ahead and kill the other bunker as well, but absolutely not a good attack there.
No, and I mean, he kills the bunkers immediately, but he kills like no actual attack units. He gets a full army stim, so there's not much in the way of more of that, but I feel like, and there's the time stop, so he's really going to go after this, fighting from that low ground. He's getting a decent number of Marines dead, and again, keep in mind, ForGG has to be very careful about his stimming right here, because this is pre-combat shield, no medevacs out. And if ForGG can just hold on a little bit longer, those bunkers are about to finish. He still has that bunker over here by the, and that's call it the high ground, I guess.
This is a great bunker indeed. If he blinks up right here, then he's just going to lose everything.
He's thinking about it.
He has to just make a Nexus. The medevacs are going to be out very shortly here. He has no kill time. And look at the armies. It's just ForGG crushes. I think the best he can do right now is do a light contain, poke a bit, but make that Nexus.
Really strange. And again, we've seen MC do some weird stuff like this where he just kind of keeps making Stalkers, but that's MC, and he kind of
MC's a different beast.
Yeah, he just is. And if you try to emulate it, he ends up looking like this, I feel like. He's looking over here. He might actually blink to the right where there is no bunker. I believe that is just a depot. Yeah, he's thinking about it.
There's 2 out in control. Combat shield's about to finish.
There's a 3rd and 4th coming too.
He's got a bunch of Marauders. His supply is huge. There's no way these Stalkers can win this game right now.
This is so strange. Behind this, no second Nexus. There's no Robo or something. I mean, that would be bad too. There's just more Stalkers coming out. He's going to try to attempt this high ground as well. And as Artosis said, we had 2 medevacs out. I believe we're up to 3 and 4 now. And the Bioforce continues to grow. You'll notice the supply is just kind of holding pattern at just better for ForGG.
You know what he's doing right now in control? I don't know if you... recently there was a game on Foxtrot at PVT. I want to say it was played by San, but my memory may be betraying me here. But he just kept making Blink Stalkers and just did the contain. And eventually the Terran was trying to get out, and he somehow won. It was a very strange game. It did not go the way it looked like it should have, but it was all one-base play. I feel like that's what he's doing here. He's saying, okay, I'm not actually going to, never mind, he is actually going to do it. And that's a pretty big stim, but he should be lifting this command, so he should be getting an arc. So many of his units not attacking.
Yeah, he actually bottlenecked himself, but I don't think it's actually enough anyways. He stims 4. He's just got so many Marines and Marauders at this point in time, and 3 medevacs here. Notice how I said 3. That's because a 4th one's approaching Stardust base, and he lost the Mothership Core. Well, never mind, it's just a single Widow Mine, but he's gonna do some pretty good economic harm right there. He did not lose the Mothership Core either. It's right there. But you can't go on the high ground.
No, you can't really do anything here, and
Oh,
he
wow.
realizes that he just blinks forward.
guess you can.
Kind of gives up.
And